Hello and welcome to a very special March Madness edition of the Central Sports Pod. We're on spring break right now, so we're filming on Zoom. But today's icebreaker is which all-time basketball player, based on their college abilities, would you want to lead you to a college basketball championship? Ethan, why don't you start us off?
I think I'm going to take Carson Edwards. Obviously, he played great in his little March Madness stint where he went 4 games in a row. He scored, I believe, 135 points just in that 4 game streak. So obviously, he's a scorer. He's able to dish the rock. He's able to do pretty much everything for a team. And I think that if he was really given that opportunity again, as he was earlier, I think he could definitely lead me to the final and maybe even win me a championship. But I do believe he'd win me a championship, I guess. But yeah, I'm taking Carson Edwards.
Mm.
I'll go next, and I'm picking James Wiseman. I mean, you gotta look at him. He had such a physical gravity, and he was high efficient. He had high efficiency in his scoring, and he was just like he had a culture setting work ethic that would really like be able to bring a team to the finals.
I suppose. Sam, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go underrated pick here. I'm gonna go Kemba Walker. I mean, I
Ooh,
love
that's
I
actually
love
good.
seeing him in
Yeah.
college. That's just kind of like the environment that you want to be in. And obviously, I would take Amir Khan as my team manager then. And I think that environment then that would just be amazing. So I'm gonna go Kemba Walker with a little side of Amir Khan.
I like that. I think those are all great picks. James Wiseman, a little questionable, but I think if he did have a different coach, he could definitely be good. So yeah.
Hmm.
But if we're going into March Madness, obviously the brackets are out. The first 4 games are underway. First of all, Duke and Siena. I think I'm taking Duke, obviously, just to get that out of the way.
Just real quick, games will happen before we post this. It is currently Wednesday, March 18th. Can't really see it, but
We got you. Yeah. Yeah.
12:57. So, uh, yeah, Ethan, take it away.
Yeah, Duke, Siena. There's no reason why you should be taking Siena. It's gonna be the Duke Blue Devils who are gonna come out on top. I don't know if we need to touch
Hmm.
up on that much, but if we want
No,
to
we
go to
don't need to.
the next game, Ohio TCU, this is one that I was struggling with taking. You got a
TCU.
Big 12 versus Big 10 matchup. It really comes down to who's going to go out there and play harder. It's March. It's not really based off of skill. It's who's ready. But
It's
who are
who's
you guys
ready to
taking?
perform under pressure. I'm going with Ohio. I just love I mean, it's just hard to bet against them, judging off of
I
their
suppose.
recent successes. I guess I don't know. I'm not.
I
Yeah.
I haven't exactly tuned into Ohio basketball this year.
I
Mhm.
just might go with TCU. I'm looking at them, and I think they're gonna do it.
I'm liking the 8 seed. I can see right here on the Tournament Challenge app, a lot more people are taking Ohio State uh, for good reason. I do think they have a lot more scoring capabilities on their team, but who knows? I'm taking Ohio State personally. But moving on, St. John's, Northern Iowa. I'm taking St. John's. I love Northern Iowa, but they got a really, really bad bid. If they would have played someone else, I could have seen them making a long run, but I do think St. John's is good enough to win that first round, although I'm not so high on them otherwise. What
You
about you
know,
guys?
I
I have St. John's beating Northern Iowa and getting no further. I have them getting out by Kansas in the next round.
I
Fair.
this might be I'm kind of risk it all, but I'm kind of going UNI. I'm not confident in St. John's at all. And I think UNI got some momentum after their tournament win, so I kind of like it.
Yeah, I agree. Arch Madness coming out of, they were the underdog. They weren't supposed to win. It was supposed to be Belmont
Hmm.
by a lot, but Drake thankfully knocked them out and led UNI to play UIC in the final, which was a lot easier than what it could have been. So thankfully
Before
UNI got in the tournament to begin with, but I don't know if
Hmm.
they're going to make it too far.
before we
Yeah,
continue,
I think February Madness is as far as you and I really getting here.
Yeah,
we have people in the waiting room who want to give takes, I believe.
Nermal.
My hot take is that I was gonna win. Was gonna win it all.
All
There's
right.
no chance that's
Thank you,
happening.
Normal.
All
Thank you,
right.
Nirmala. I appreciate it because go
Can we have
Hawks.
y'all? Can we have some
Yeah,
discourse
we
on
got
this?
Hawks right here.
I'm just gonna
Obviously,
disagree.
I like the Hawks, and obviously if I could choose a team to win it, I would choose the Hawks. But Clemson's beating them in the first round. It's you know
No,
what
no, that's not
It's
happening, but
it's
they won't
not
win.
gonna be
I
close.
think it'll be a good game between Clemson and Iowa. I think that Iowa will have the best player in the game in Bennett Sturts, but I
Mhm.
just really can't see. Um, I mean, even if they do win, there's just so many teams with just guys who are better than Bennett Sturts and are deeper. Iowa is not as deep as some of these other rosters, like
I agree with
Arizona,
that.
deep. Uh, they're kind of like a worse Illinois. It's kind of what I'm thinking because Illinois obviously has a top heavy talent, but they're not the deepest roster.
And be
I
honest,
would disagree with that actually. I think Illinois has a really deep roster.
hey, we can get into it. We can get into it.
Yeah, we'll
Thank
get
you,
into it
Namal,
later.
for the
I think
take.
that the
Thank you, Namal, for the take.
Yes, thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you. See ya.
But keeping on track, Kansas versus CA Baptist.
Kansas,
Kansas.
Kansas.
Let's
pretty
move
easy.
I
on.
don't know. It looks like a game that could be an upset, but it's whatever. We'll figure it out later. And then Louisville, South Florida. Okay, one of the
With the
South
Louisville
Florida
Star
players,
out, I'm going South Florida.
one of the Louisville Star players actually came onto a press conference and said that if they win, if South Florida wins, that's not even an upset. He thinks that they are by far the better team and that it shouldn't be even considered as an upset if they were to win. It was just numbers that make it look like that would be the case.
You know,
But that kind of makes me want to take South Florida. I don't know.
I think Louisville's gonna
Wait,
go
you're
on a
saying
run.
you're saying a Louisville player came out and said that?
South Florida said that. A South
Oh,
Florida player
okay.
said that if South Florida were to win, it would not be an upset. It's just a
Here's
normal
the
win.
thing.
I
Here's
mean,
the thing.
I think if you're an 11 seed and if you're ahead, you're going into a game. I just think that that's a great mindset to have, being like, no, we're not the underdogs here. They're the team that has to prove it.
Mhm.
We have nothing to lose. Let's just go out there and we could beat these guys, right?
But then
Here's the
again, you can't just go on to a press conference and just say, "Yeah, I mean, man, we suck. We're not going to win." Yeah. See you next year. No, but I do like the mindset. Ted, what are you thinking?
I think Louisville's gonna go on a run. I mean, people might be saying, "Hey, like they have nothing left." Like they're a little tired. They're like star players out. But I think they got the culture, and they're gonna go for a little bit of a run. All right, moving on. Michigan, North Dakota State.
You know
Michigan
what,
State.
boys?
Michigan State. Yeah, I should clarify Michigan State.
Go Spartans, boys. Go Spartans. Spartans all the way.
Yeah, I think Michigan State's winning that game. I'm not.
I think Michigan State's winning that game. They're an electric team. They really are. They have an explosive offense led by Tom Izzo, and there's no reason they shouldn't win this game. If they do, it's a fluke, and that would be really disappointing to be honest with you if they were to lose this. I think that they have
Yeah,
a solid way to get to that Final Four or Final Eight spot. So who knows? We'll see.
I mean, I was contemplating putting them over UConn. In the end, I couldn't do it. But I mean, even being in that conversation, I think that this Michigan State team has all the potential, really.
Oh,
Uh,
for sure. I mean, Cohen Carr will go out there and give you the best 8 points you've seen in your life, and to have someone who's somewhat leading like that is it's very important in March. It is because if he can go out there, obviously the crowd doesn't play as much as of an impact in March because you're not playing in a home environment. But if you can get people just hyped up in general, not even the crowd, but his own teammates, that's going to mean something. And if his coach can trust him to go out there and do that also, it's going to benefit the entire team in total. More trust, higher chance of winning, if that makes sense.
yeah. All right, moving
mhm.
on. UCLA, UCF. I think UCLA got it. I believe in them.
I got I got UCLA. I mean, listen, they haven't had the greatest season, but recently they've looked like one of the best teams in the country. And I mean, there's even a chance in the next round they could go and upset UConn.
Here's the thing:
Yeah,
UCLA is not getting the respect they deserve. They, weren't ranked in the top 25 all season, really, despite having more Big Ten wins than Purdue at some point. I'm pretty sure they had more conference wins than a team that was ranked number one in the nation at the beginning of the year. So I think that's something to look at. I think UCLA is an underdog coming out of the Big Ten. Obviously, they didn't win the Big Ten tournament. Purdue did. That doesn't always mean everything. I think that UCLA still has a high chance to go and make something happen. They played really hard at the end of the season, and I think they're continuing that momentum going into March. Obviously, UCF, I don't know much about them, to be honest with you. I don't know. Some people are wanting to take that. It's a convincing 10-7, game to try to pick an upset, but I'm taking UCLA.
yeah. I
I
think
mean, when I think
UCLA.
a big thing in March Madness is if you have that star player like UCLA does and Tyler Billodine. I'm not really sure how to say his last name, but averaging 17 points a game, that's really good. Having a star player that you can go to in the clutch and trust, that is
Mhm.
a lot of times like that is the thing that can put you over the top. He's shooting 50% for the field, 45% for three. Those numbers are like really like revolutionary, really. So
Mhm.
having a player that can score that much with that good percentage, that's like that kind of like blows you away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
moving
I think
on, unless
moving
Ted wants to
on.
add.
No,
Uh
moving on.
moving
UConn,
on here.
Furman. UConn, there's something serious. I mean, like, obviously they're gonna win. I don't think we need to
Yeah.
dwell on it. Yeah. All right.
So then
Florida,
Florida versus probably Lehigh, if I had to be honest with you.
Florida, again, no
Florida.
doubt. They're just gonna
Mhm.
Florida.
cha-cha-cha in the tournament.
No matter
Didn't win the SEC, but they're obviously the one seed for a
Yeah.
reason. So I'm taking Florida. And then
Yeah.
Clemson, Iowa, boys. This is the one that I was excited to
Clemson,
talk about today.
Clemson.
I'm taking Iowa. I'm seeing these celebrity brackets. People are taking, Clemson to win this. I don't know why they think that, to be honest with you. Iowa has a lottery pick leading their team. They have 6'4" Bennett Sturts who can, play point guard. He can shoot the ball. He can pass it. Double doubles coming from assists and points are definitely possible in this tournament. I think that Bennett Sturts is going to get Iowa the win. I don't know if a lot of people think that, but I do personally.
I don't
I
think a
mean
lot of people think that, and I disagree with that. I think Clemson's gonna win. I mean, I think you're
Clemson's
Iowa fan. You're a
Can you
Iowa
name the
Beaver
has the
best?
fan.
top.
Can you name the best player on Clemson, Ted, please?
No, and I can't name the best player in Iowa. So
And also, you said that a lot
It's
of people don't think that Iowa would win it. Well, Iowa's actually picked more often, 7 million picks against 5 million.
I
So
mean
people think Iowa can win. I guess I didn't know, but it's good to
it's
see at least.
it's kind of a battle of really good top talent versus a very deep and balanced roster.
Mhm.
So it's going to be really interesting to see because Clemson has so many guys, in that 8 to 12 point range, where it's like any one of these guys can easily go off and beat you, but if Clemson's not clicking, if one guy isn't clicking, then their whole team might not be clicking. So it's
Yeah,
just
I'm
really
looking
going to be
at
a battle.
I'm looking at Iowa's top wins or notable results as well as Clemson's, and both teams really haven't won anything in particular that sticks out to you, except the Nebraska win a month ago. But I think that was basically just they played at Kinnick or they played at Carver, they win that, and then Clemson, it doesn't really impress you that much either. They both struggle against top teams, but Iowa plays down to their opponents, I would like to say, or plays up to their opponents, but kind of struggles.
They kind of play
And
to the
I think
level.
what?
They like play to the level that is required, or they can drop down. So it's going to be
Yeah.
very tight, I think.
let's move on to Vanderbilt McNeese. I think Amir Khan is gonna lead McNeese to an upset win.
All right.
I
Listen,
think
I think that is just such an ignorant take to say. There's no reason why McNeese should win this. They come out of what, the American South or something like that
there's no
conference.
reason for them to
Not
win
a
it, but they
great
are gonna
strength
win
of
it.
schedule. I just completely
Yeah.
I'm just it's Vanderbilt. Not I'm not going to
Listen,
give this one a second thought.
listen, they won their conference. They won their conference. I'll give it to them. Good job for them to
Yeah.
do that. They made it into the NCAA tournament. Last year, they won a game. Fun. Have a good time.
And
Enjoy that.
this
But
year they're
this
gonna do the
year,
same.
Vanderbilt is whooping. It's not going to be close. I guarantee you. If something does happen, you can use my word against me, but I'm taking Vanderbilt.
Okay, Nebraska, Troy. Nebraska started the season undefeated. I think they're gonna win this game. I mean,
I'm going Troy. I mean, last 12 games, Nebraska right at 500. Troy obviously not with the greatest strength of schedule just because of their conference, but I think that Thomas Dowd and Victor Valdez they're both quality players. I've taken some notes here and I've done the research and I really think that Troy is going to win. Uh, Nebraska, I mean, people are just saying that they played good at the start of the season. I see Ethan's looking a little disappointed in this take, but they
Hey,
playing
I'm
good
an
at the
Iowa
start of the
fan.
season.
hey,
I'm an
Brant,
Iowa fan. I'm supposed to hate Nebraska, but I think Nebraska's going to win this game. Price
Sam,
Sanford, he's our guy. Iowa City still loves him, but kind of. But
Sam, why
I
do you
think
want to
Price
fight with
Sanford's
this?
going to
Like,
lead him to the dub.
this is not that like hard to predict. Just pick Nebraska and move on, okay? All right.
You got to always consider everything. I mean, Look at this.
Mhm.
I'm looking at it right now. Troy has a dude averaging a double-double. That could mean something. You never know.
Yeah,
All right.
the rebounding of Troy is kind of standing out to me. Nebraska has good interior offense, but if they're not gonna be able to get those offensive rebounds, this could
Mhm.
easily, just like slip away from them. So
Yeah.
it's really gonna come down to Troy and specifically on Thomas Dowd's shoulder of if he can, get those boards, put the team on his back. So I guess only time will tell.
All right. North Carolina, VCU. I think VCU is going to
Dude,
do the upset.
I have
I think
VCO.
VCU is going to pull that upset. Caleb Wilson, he's out. He's been out for a
Mhm.
little bit now, and UNC has not looked as good. I think if any team has the chance to pull an upset this year, it's going to be VCU. It is literally the perfect bid for them. They're going against a team whose top player,
Mhm.
who's averaging 20, goes out for the season just a little bit before the tournament. This is a best case scenario. I'm taking VCU, but I got to consider it, and I would almost go UNC on another day, but long term, I might take VCU. I don't know, just to
I
switch
mean,
things up.
it's really going to come down, to the wire in this game, but we got to move on here in a time crunch. So
All right. Illinois, Penn, Illinois.
Illinois.
Brand McCaffrey, I don't know. He's intriguing me. He won the Ivy League. He wasn't supposed to, but Illinois is a really good team, so I'm taking Illinois.
All right. St. Mary's versus Texas A&M. I really like St. Mary's. I think they could go on a little run after this, maybe beat Houston. So I think at St. Mary's, they got it.
You have St. Mary's
Yeah,
set
I don't
ranking?
hate that. It's kind of a weird game. These are two teams, that aren't top 25 ranked necessarily.
I have A&M. But
I don't know. I might have to look into this one act more a little bit, actually. I don't know. I'm,
All
I'm
right.
not going to lie. I have no clue who to take on this one.
yeah, I haven't watched an A&M or a St. Mary's game this year, so I'm just kind of going by gut on this one, I
I'll
guess.
take I'll take St. Mary's just because they're the 7 and they have more wins, but I'll look
Yeah.
into it later. But Houston, Idaho, Houston,
Houston.
Houston.
But I think Houston could lose second round. I do not trust Houston.
I suppose.
I don't trust Houston at
Arizona
all, but
versus
I have
Long
been
Island.
kidding.
What'd you say, Sam?
Uh, if you have Long Island upsetting Arizona, please don't watch our podcast.
Fins up.
Hey, Sam, we just lost like 10 viewers right there.
I'm certain. Moving on, Villanova, Utah State. This one's kind of a
Villanova.
toss-up. I'm going Utah State.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. This is a little bit of a difficult pick.
hmm
I'm taking
Villanova's
Nova.
they're a historical powerhouse, and I like. And then it's a close game. I'm just gonna pick the team that's a little more like proven, like as a friend, as a like organization.
Yeah.
All
Next
right, we
game, Wisco versus
High
HPU
Point.
High Point.
I'd love to pick High Point, but I'm gonna pick Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin's dude, they're hot. I think that they're one of the most underappreciated Big Ten teams. They're looking good. I'll say it. And they got two guys who are averaging 20 points a game. That could be a curse or a blessing if they struggle to share those points amongst each other, and there's a little bit of a feud or something going on there. Like it's hard to
Yeah.
have two high scorers like that on the same team. But
hmm
honestly, HPU looks like the same. They got two people averaging 15, but I'm taking Wisconsin.
I mean,
All right,
I think that Wisconsin Arkansas will be a great game. Two teams that have really caught fire and caught their stride right at the end of the season. And I mean, I think that either of them could upset Arizona. I have Arizona winning, but I still think that Arkansas or Wisconsin, whichever one, will be one of Arizona's toughest matchups of the tournament.
Yeah, Arkansas, Hawaii. It's Arkansas, and it's not even
it's
close.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm in
This
Hawaii
is the
right now, but
hottest team in the
Arkansas.
tournament, and I think they could make a Final Four run.
they could. I think that if they can beat Arizona, I think that teams should be scared of them. Teams should be afraid of them. And I just
Mhm.
think that there's not really someone who can stop them if they do. But I still have Arizona winning.
All
And
right,
then BYU, Texas. I don't know what I want to think about this one.
I'm gonna pick the upset. I'm
Texas
picking
game winner
Texas.
last night.
Yeah,
I'm
Uh,
picking
Texas game
Texas.
winner. I don't
uh,
know.
I'm I'm
It's
t- I'm taking Texas. A lot of times it's safe to go with the team that has, that has the best player on the court. But I don't know.
the thing is, Richie Saunders went out how long ago now? A month? They haven't looked as good without him, but they haven't dipped down like that much. You know what I mean? Like I would feel like a really good role player like that who's kind of the glue to their team would have affected their play style a little more, but they're still looking all right. And with AJ DeBanster, who I think is the number one player in the nation, I'm
I
taking
think
them,
he
and
should
I
be the
could
number one
maybe
overall
see
pick.
them making a little bit of a run.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on, Gonzaga, Kennesaw State, going Gonzaga
Gonzaga.
with that
Yeah.
one. Miami,
Yeah,
Missouri.
Give me
I don't know.
Mizzou. Give me Mizzou.
It's a little bit of a weird one.
I have.
SEC.
Mhm.
I don't like Miami.
Not exactly a stacked conference this year. I think
Uh,
I think it could go either way. I have Miami winning, so I mean,
I'll take Miami, but going on to Purdue versus Queens,
Hey,
I'm taking Purdue.
on my
I'm
soul,
I'm
Purdue's winning.
I'm taking Purdue. But if there were to be a 2-15 upset this year, it would be this one. I think.
Uh, Big Cluff, actually. So Queens, obviously, Borough in New York,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
right? So he got interviewed. He was like, "What do you think about Queens?" And he was like, "I don't even know where they are, to be honest. They're in like New York or something like that, right?" And then they're like, "No, they're North Carolina, Charlotte, sir." That was funny. I actually know someone who went to Queens University, so I'm kind of cheering for him. But I think Purdue is a really tall team, despite having Braden Smith out there, and I think they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Howard, Michigan, boys. What are we
Hey,
thinking?
God was showing off when he made Michigan. They're beautiful, and I think they're going to win that game.
Michigan. Yeah,
Michigan.
Yaxel, Mara, Cadeau, just a great team overall. Taking Michigan, and I could make a run. I might have them winning as my champion. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, St. Louis. This is one that could honestly sway both ways, and I'm gonna have a fun one picking this later. But I'm going
But
St. Louis.
I'm going
Georgia,
SLU also. I
Georgia.
mean, both teams have had their ups and they've had their downs this season, so it's gonna be a good game. I don't have either team really even touching Michigan in the next round, so
Mhm.
I'm not gonna stress too much about this pick.
Yeah,
But
All
I'm
right,
taking
Texas.
St. Louis just because I've been following Robbie for a long time now, back Indiana State days, and I just want him to. I want him to win a game in March Madness. So I'll take St. Louis. Go Billikens.
Texas Tech, Akron. I think it's Texas Tech.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that people are kind of on the fence about. Akron won the MAC. A lot of people saw that coming. A lot of people didn't. But I'm taking Texas Tech. Despite having some issues on the court with, I believe, some injuries that had happened, I still want Texas Tech as my winner.
and then
Yeah,
Alabama Hofstra. I'm going
Bama,
Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Bama.
No matter
I,
what
I do think,
these off
despite
the
having
off the court
the
issues.
marijuana off court issues, I do think that Alabama will win but lose next round.
Yeah, whoever they face in
Yeah,
the next. Well, I don't know. I guess it's really going to depend on how Alabama can recover from it. I'm probably going to have to look into it a little bit more later today before I make my final decision. But moving
Hmm.
on to Tennessee versus Miami, Ohio, or SMU, I
hey,
think that Tennessee is hoping it'll be Miami, Ohio, and I think that they should because I think that Miami,
This is
Ohio did not look good in their last game in the MAC. But
Sam.
what do you guys think?
Hey, dance with
hard.
me. Miami, Ohio wins today. Then they win this game. They lose to Virginia, but I think they're going to win this game. I believe in Miami, Ohio. Maybe that's just like wanting something to happen, but
I don't know. It's like really difficult to choose, a first four team to make a run. It doesn't really happen usually. But SMU looks good also. Like these are two teams. Like I don't know. Even if SMU wins, I could definitely see something happening. But that's just me.
mm-hmm.
Moving on though, Virginia, Wright State. Give me Virginia.
Give me Virginia. Wright State, not the biggest fan of their organization, so
Then give me Kentucky for that Kentucky Santa Clara. I'll
yeah,
say it. I don't know.
I think I'm going to pick
Jay
Kentucky.
Will went there, but
I'm going to pick Kentucky, but I think Santa Clara, like, if a team's going to do an upset, I feel like they could. You know what I mean?
and
I
then
think
Iowa State versus Tennessee State for the last pick of the first round. I'm going
I
Iowa State.
Iowa State, yeah.
I have
Yeah.
Iowa State winning, but then I had them losing to another Tennessee team later in a couple rounds.
Mm. All
And
right.
then
Get
The
out.
let's
team
just
that
who do you guys have winning in the end? I have Arizona winning in the end. I think I said it earlier.
Duke.
The thing is, I'm trying to look at the points here because I'm trying to win my bracket pool. And if I choose Duke to go all the way, but then they lose first or second round, I'm missing a lot of points there. And I think
Yeah.
Duke has the highest chance to lose in their region. They have a really hard road to the
They
final.
they have
I don't
a
know. I
they
think
have a
Arizona is a
extremely
more
tough.
convincing team, but I
They
think
will.
Arkansas could honestly win the entire thing. Like this is a really hard March Madness this year. I hope it pans out well and there's a lot of upsets because to be honest with you, it's only fun with upsets, or at least it's more fun. But
If
for
if
my winner, honestly, I'm taking Michigan. I'm taking Michigan. I
Mm.
think they have a pretty easy region.
So we all
And
were you all we all with one seeds to win.
the thing is, I'm not like Michigan is just the best team here besides Duke, in my opinion. But when we're looking in the March Madness scope of things, it seems a little more convincing for Michigan to make a far run and win it all than Duke.
Hmm.
Just with
Arizona,
teams they're playing, players that they're going to have to, defend, decisions they're going to make down the line, Michigan just seems more champion to me, if that makes sense.
the thing for me
I guess, yeah.
About Arizona is, I mean, they have the star power in Braden Burries, and
They have the
then
star power in every single person on their starting five, to be honest with you.
yeah, and then you look at it, and the rebounding is just amazing. And a lot of times in these games, we see it as like, there's like a six different there's a 6 second difference in shot game clock. It comes down to it. If they, take a shot, for the dagger and they miss it, but they get the rebound, that's just like such a huge thing. And I just trust the
Yeah.
rebounding in these big moments from Arizona so much that I'm willing to die on this fence for
But that's
Arizona.
such a hypothetical. I'm not going to trust a team's capability just off of their rebounding stats. You know what I mean? Like if someone averages 10 rebounds a game, maybe they're at 12 rebounds already and the final shot comes down, they're putting it up and he's supposed to get that rebound if they miss. He might not make that. He might not make the rebound. You can't just defend a team and put all your hope into trying to get the ball after they miss a shot because if they're missing the shot in the first place, that's already an issue.
Well, that's the thing. They have the star power in Brandon Berries and Jaden Bradley and Koa Pete. I mean, they have all those guys that can beat you in so many different ways. They have the height and the length. They have, I don't even know how to say his name, Motijas Krivas. I know 7'2", 260, 10 and a half boards a game, or 10 points, 8 boards a game. I love that. Like that's just the stuff that like when you like want a team to win in March Madness, you want them to have depth and star power. Arizona checks all my boxes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's a totally valid take. It's just the rebounding that makes me question. It's a subjective stat. It depends where the rebounds are coming from,
You're
you know.
you're
Is it
saying
Angel
because a
Reese
team
rebounds or is it Dennis Rodman rebounds, you know?
I think
you're
they're
saying
more of an
because
Angel
a
Reese.
team is good at rebounding, they're discredited.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying are they missing shots and getting the rebounds?
They have
Or
good
are they
interior
or
scoring
are they
defense.
like what's the offensive rebounds compared to the defensive rebounds, you know? Because offensive rebounds are a good thing, but I'd rather to see them make the shot than miss it and get a board, you know.
Yeah.
All right. I
But
know we're
Ted, can you go more into depth on this Duke take? Because we all explained our case. What about you?
they're the best team there. I mean, I know they have like a hard road to the final, and I think it will be challenging. But like, if you look at them, they have the depth, they have the star power, they have just like overall consistency, and they win their games. Like, I guess I just don't see that many flaws in their team, which is why I'm picking them.
I think that
Yeah.
Duke might be the safest pick just because of, having Cam Boozer and Isaiah Evans and Patrick Naganga. I mean,
Mhm.
having like top three players with that level of talent,
Hey,
it's
and
it's
we've just
hard
seen
to
that.
bet against them. But I'd
I mean,
still rather go Arizona or even UConn or Illinois.
Hey, we've
mhm.
just seen how like some NBA players have come back to college. So maybe Cooper Flag could come back, and then they'd really win. But
I guess. But Ted, I want to ask you, obviously, Cam Boozer is going crazy, but is Caden Boozer going to be an issue for you? He's had to step up recently. Is he going to be the leak in the boat in this tournament for Duke?
no, I mean I think they're going all the way, and I don't think he's going to be the leak in their boat, if you will.
That's
I
just,
mean,
I
Having a
know a lot
point
of people
guard
have
like
issues with him stepping up right there at the end because Cam Boozer's the big dog. He's the one leading Duke to the
Hmm.
season in the first place.
without
Caden
Cam
Boozer
Boozer, they're
comes
not
out.
here.
Caden Boozer comes out for the ACC championship, and he was maybe the reason they even won that game, but could be an issue down the line
Having
if
a point
he fails to meet it up. Who
having a
knows?
point guard like Caden Boozer is both a blessing and a curse because he's a confident player, but he does take some bad shots and he doesn't do questionable things. So I
Hmm.
guess it's just going to come down to, the discipline of Duke and if, they can run the plays and just get the ball to Cam Boozer in those moments, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So Ted
Hmm.
Duke, Sam Arizona,
You, Michigan.
Ethan, Michigan. We'll see how it goes. We will.
All right. It's
I
been a
think we
great
just
little
witnessed
episode.
some great perfect brackets.
It's been a great episode. Obviously, we have the best takes on the internet. So, I mean, give us a follow, subscribe. See you next time.
Peace.
Peace.